Okay, so now we are going to learn how to use constants in our program, right? So first thing, as usual, include. And then we'll have our main function. Okay, let's have a simple scenario. I would like to calculate the area of a circle. Okay, so to calculate the area of a circle, the formula that we use is pi r squared. Okay, that is the area of a circle, pi r squared. Pi is actually a symbol, r is actually the radius, pi is 3.142, r is the radius, and we have to multiply that by 2 so that we can get the whole result. So we need to have a few variables to help us out. We need to have radius, okay, because these are measurement. So the radius can have points, maybe 3.5 cm or 4.99 cm. So there is a point in between the numbers. So for that, we need to use float, radius, okay? And there's another one called pi. Pi is actually a constant value. Because we already know the value of pi, and this particular pi value does not change at all. Forever it has been 3.142. Okay, so instead of putting it as part of the normal variable, something like this, pi equals to 3.142, we can use this as a constant. So whenever you create constant, you put it outside. So how to create constant? You can use preprocessor directive way, whereby you put define pi and 3.142. This is how you define a constant value and you give it a name. This name can be anything. It can be capital letter, it can be small letter, but usually for constant values, we'll have it in capital letters. Okay, so when we have set the pi value as constant, so here we don't have to repeat the declaration. Okay, so we can leave it as it is. So we need radius, we need pi, we already have that as a constant, and we need a place to store the result, which is area. So area is, it might have float point number, so we put it as float. Okay, currently we don't know yet. So now what we can do is we have to ask the user to enter the radius. So how to give the user the message? Please enter the value of radius. Okay, so we have given the message to the user using printf statement. So how do we need to read? Scanf. And because radius is float, we have to use percentage %f. And where are we going to keep it? We are going to keep it in this particular variable. So whenever you use scanf, you need to have ampersand followed by the variable name. At the end, semicolon. So once you have taken the value of radius from the user, you can start writing your formula, which is area equals to pi multiplied by radius multiplied by radius. This is the formula, and finally you can print the results. The area is, so I want the result to be here. This is the place that I want the result to be. So what do I want to store in this particular area? What do I want to display in this particular area? I want to store the area of the circle. So we need to change this. This is the place that I want to store area. Okay, so area is of type float. So we need to put percentage %f. To make it better, we put 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.4 depending on how long, how many digits you want to have after the decimal point. So in my case now, I just want to have 2 digits after the decimal point. So this is my result. So I just want to include some slash n's here, so that will look better. Okay. So this is my program. I have 2 variables here plus 1 constant value. I'm taking the value of radius from the user, do a simple formula and display the result. Okay. So let's save this program. C. So this one will be constant. And let's compile and run it. So now we are at the message part here, printf statement. Please enter the value of radius. So maybe it's 3.45. Enter. The area is 37.40. So after doing the formula, it will display the value of the area at that particular location, which is after is. Okay, so that means because we put it here, okay, it'll be after the is statement. So if I put it in front, it will be before the is statement. Alright, very simple. So now, this is not the only way to define a constant value. There's another way. Okay, we can also use the constant keyword, C-O-N-S-T, okay, followed by float, pi equals to 3.142, semicolon. So you can see that there's 2 ways of declaring your constant. So in my case now, I can choose either one. If I choose to use the second one, I just make sure the first one is commented. If I choose to use the first one, I'll make sure that the second one is commented. Choose either one. Okay, so make sure you know the difference. Here I'm using preprocessor directive. Let's put a comment here. Using preprocessor directive. And this one is just plainly using the constant keyword. That's it. We are just using this particular keyword. Alright. So this is how you actually utilize constants in your program.